good time zone artifacts. And a happy birthday to all of those around the world. I was going to, I was like, oh, it's Thursday. The Defender chips are out. I'll farm it before stream, and then we can have E2 Jessica. But then I was like, wait, I can't do that. I'll have no sanity for the stream. So no E2 Jessica. Because we gotta actually do levels. Any pots? For what? For who? Oh, you mean sanity potions? Yeah, I do think I've got some. Could have used them, yes, that's true. Too late now, though. I definitely have less than I had in the past. I think I have that special special one that we got a couple weeks ago. The the food one, the bean one or something. She's just gonna have to deal with it. We'll get her up one day. Also, huge, ginormous news. Plume is getting a skin. Can you believe it? It's finally happening. After 4 years. Bam. Athletic wear. I like that her sprite is just lifting. She's got to lift. That is all. Hope it's a free outfit? Why, you don't want to pay for Plume? You're not worth it? I think it's a outfit for the thing that replaced contingency contract, whatever that's called. I think I saw someone say that. But I don't know where I saw that. Somewhere. On Twitter. Anyway, we've got an event to finish. Bam. Last time. Things are, perhaps not looking good. Perhaps. Hard to say. Bandits attacked the city under the allowance of the bank. The bank then tried to utilize that to have Black Steel arrest and deport everyone, pretty much. And Black Steel land ship arrived, Fort Baron. At the same time, Jessica finally gave the bullet to Woodrow, who then went to visit Cliff, and we learned that they were soldiers together in the Colombian Revolution, and that Cliff let Woodrow and another guy get captured and sent to an internment camp where they were like tortured, and the one guy was killed. And Cliff didn't like do anything to try and save them. So, but like Cliff like wants to like still consider Woodrow a friend, and Woodrow's like, no, screw you. Cliff is letting the bank control them in a sense because he's just a cold hard mercenary in it for the money. Although he did get angry when the bank tried to take direct control of his soldiers, as Liskarm and co were supposed to protect the bank, and protesters came outside and started singing, which of course is the most threatening thing you can ever do as a protester. And so the bank manager was like, you need to just shoot them. You need to shoot these protesters. And Liskarm was like, no. Jessica went to Cliff to try and get him to like see the light, I suppose, and Cliff was said, no, you're never allowed to come here again. So Jessica's in timeout. Jessica did try to pay off everyone's debt, but it was too much money, even for her. That's pretty much where we are. Everyone's pretty much conceded that they all just need to go to the frontier where their debt will be forgiven, because there's nothing else they can do. Also, I love this menu song. It's probably one of my favorite. It's so good. White heat. Whenever one acts, another one will respond. The more fierce the action, the more extreme the reaction. They've got a double beam cross going on twice. Two separate beams. Noted. New Year's came and went, but the freezing wind and snow continued to nip at Davistown, leaving not a shred of warmth. Amidst a crowd outside the plate waiting for their ride, Miles drowsily thinks to himself, how long has it been since he's waited for a bus like this in the cold? So what kind of place are you headed to in the frontier, old man?
Somewhere warmer than here, at least. Don't worry about me. They showed me mercy by allowing me to be buried along with my old neighbors.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
What's done is done, kid. Let's just move on and stay out of trouble. Right. I just remembered. The last time I was waiting for a ride like this, it was to head to a nomadic city to attend my little sister's funeral. It was a cold day just like this one. Elena, Woodrow, and Leon, they all stayed with me while I waited for the convoy to show up. I was holding a bouquet stuck inside a vase from Elena's diner, and wearing an old suit Leon lent me, breezed my ass off for hours. Weirdly, I can even clearly remember how long Woodrow's beard was that day, but everything after I got on the bus is just a blur, like looking through a layer of frosted glass. I think I went to a huge city, but it was also seemed smaller than Davistown. I think I cried a lot, but also it feels like I didn't cry at all. After that, it's just me hopping on a bus back to town and my friends helping me get off. I actually do remember what happened after that. I went to Helena's place and started drinking. Got pretty sloshed, but I somehow still remember everything I said that night.
A convoy to the frontier has arrived. Hop on the bus, people of Davistown. Even my precious baby sister's gone. All I got left is Davistown, and I'm gonna follow her to the grave, damn it. You hear me, Leon? I'm gonna dig my grave here, and when the time comes...
Don't act like I've forgotten, Miles. You told me when the time comes, stuff my body into the plant furnace and see it, if my ashes can make the people here sneeze.
The engineer throws his head back and takes another huge swig.
As soon as you finished talking, the town was perfectly fine. But I was the one who got the mother of all sneezes. Yeah, ha ha ha. Back then, nobody laughed. Nobody could laugh at all, but now, it seems so damn funny. What do you think? Don't just sit there and all quiet. Drink, Miles, drink.
Sorry we're late. Woodrow, Helena, where's Leon? Right before we left, he said he needed some time to figure things out. Said he'd be back later, then popped open another bottle.
But we're out of time. No big deal, if anything, maybe it's better this way. Ugh, damn weather. Why did it have to be so cold? Well, once you're on that bus, you can kiss this weather goodbye.
Woodrow.
Ain't nothing wrong with what he said.
I'm sorry.
Stop apologizing, Jessica, this whole damn thing. It was the bank's fault, Black Steel's fault, and sometimes even our own fault. But you never did anything wrong. So stop blaming yourself. We weren't expecting much from you in the first place.
Miles realizes his mistake the moment the words leave his lips. But before he has a chance to explain himself, the convoy leader has already grabbed his arm. If you had something to say, you should have said it earlier. Now get on, you're the last one.
Jessica,
If we wait any longer, I trust you'll take personal responsibility for any rust hammers or catastrophes that show up. Now get on. Don't take it the wrong way, Jessica. That is not how he meant it. I know, but he's not wrong either. I've done so much here, but in the end, I never actually accomplished anything. Nothing changed.
Who is it? Oh, Woodrow, or is it Elena? Stop rushing me. I already said I'm over it. I'm gonna go see Miles off. What do you want? What? You here to chase me out too?
Unlike what Leon is used to seeing, Sylvia does not apologize, bow her head, or run off. She stands there for a moment, tightly clutching something to her chest, and stiffly puts one foot forward and walks into the diner. She keeps walking until she reaches the seat closest to the counter, sits down with her back to the door, stares straight at the empty chair in front of her. Mr. Theremin, are Woodrow and Helena going to come back?
Woodrow and Elena? How's that any of your business? They went to see Miles off.
The cold wind blowing in from the crack in the door Sylvia left behind whispers as it circles past the mouth of the empty beer bottle. It sends a shiver down Leon's spine. Spine? Yeah, fine.
They went to see Miles off, and we'll be back in a bit, but nobody wants to see you, got it? If they do, then scram. Just leave me alone.
Sylvia's fingers are tightly clasped together on top of the table. She gulps down a mouthful of water and forces herself to turn and look at Leon's face. It is then that he finally sees what she has been clutching. A ring, silver in color, with a few diamonds inlaid across it. Mr. Theremin, I can't.
Who gave you that ring hanging around your neck?
The ring?
Couldn't have been me or Benny. So that leaves him.
Their eyes meet. Sylvia nods slightly and clutches the ring once again, her eyes burning with an almost crazed determination. The look in her eyes reminds Leon of someone, Carl's eyes. The night before he departed, he disappeared for a few hours, and when he returned, his eyes looked exactly like those of the person now in front of him. You know, Jessica, our team has to pull out of Davistown the moment we receive the order. Whatever else happens here, we have to return to the ship. I know that. We're leaving. Miles has already left. Woodrow and Helena said they're leaving too. Leon probably won't stay either. Everyone will be gone. But what have I done for them? Well, if you ask me, you cleaned up the bandits terrorizing the place, helped Leon save his house, and told Cliff that the bank had overstepped his authority, even if you don't want to acknowledge it. But in the end, it was all in vain. I let everyone down. Or maybe even worse, it's just a smile said. Nobody expected anything from me in the first place. It's all because I went and stuck my nose where it didn't belong. Jessica. No, even so, I still... Laura, yeah, I need to go for a walk. Now's not the time for that. We're about to return to the land ship. I'll help you pack your stuff. Just take a nice nap. I'll wake you up when it's time to go, okay? I have to do this, though. Where are you going? I don't know. You sure about this? Yes. Don't take too long, okay? I'll try my best. Stop drinking already, Leon. Wait, you're sober? As sober as I ever am. Wait, and Sylvia? What's she doing here? She insisted on waiting for you two to get back so she could have a chat with all of us. Sylvia stands up from her seat, still gripping the ring tightly. Blue veins are visible across her white knuckles. Elena, Woodrow, Mr. Theremin. I know of some money in the bank.
Of course there's money in the bank. What's the point of telling us that?
I mean, Black Steel delivered a large sum of cash to serve as a reserve funds, and it's all sitting in the vault right now.
Why?
The bank wants to prepare for Davistown's new residents. They're going to clear out the entire plate to welcome the precision technicians, R&D personnel, and managers that form the cornerstones of the new industries. To meet the demand of their deposits and loans, there's a lot more cash in the bank than usual. Maybe enough to let a large group of people start a new life in the frontier. So that's the situation. So there's two possibilities. Either she wants them to rob the bank, or take out more loans in order to just steal the money effectively.
That's it? What are you getting at, Sylvia?
Someone actually sober wouldn't be asking that, Leon.
But here's my question. If you're saying what I think you are, I need to know. Sylvia, what do you expect us to return? Do you expect us to return the money to its rightful owners? Or do you want us to take it? By force?
Sylvia nods slightly in an almost unrecognizable manner, then continues fidgeting with the ring on her chest while waiting for the final judgment. The diner is deathly quiet. Well, at least we're all on the same page. Leon, and you in or not? Say something.
No, I know this money shouldn't have been ours, but I don't want to be a criminal scum like those bandits. You really think the bandits were the biggest crooks in Davistown?
So, you with her, Woodrow?
No.
No.
I admire her courage, but this is too much of a long shot. For example, Sylvia, you got a map of the bank?
Yes.
Give it here.
I don't have anything on paper, but I do know that it's 100 paces from the bank's front entrance to the master control switch. Based on my stride, that'd make it about 200 feet. But before that, there are 3 turns, and at steps 44, 74, and 93, the landmarks are a potted plant, a floor lamp, and a counter. So that's why she's been counting this whole time? Memorizing the layout? From the master control switch to the entrance of the vault, you have to pass through the reception room, go through a hidden doorway, and then down a 36-step stairwell. Afterward, there will be a straight path which will take... You actually memorized all of that.
Doubtful. Sylvia, how far is it from your seat to the entrance of the diner?
I just walked 18 paces, and after the 6th step, I made a right-angle turn for a total distance of about 40 or 36 feet.
She didn't memorize it. She's just been there countless times, as you just heard.
Woodrow, what do you reckon our odds are if you joined us? And what about with Leon?
How are we supposed to get all this cash out to the frontier without leaving any traces?
I can take care of that.
I don't doubt you can survive out there. But what about the money?
Helena lets out a sigh. She nimbly hops over the bar counter, picks up the knife on the table, and bends down to pry up the floorboards. Creak, creak, pop. A cloud of dust, ancient and full of history, rises from her feet. Don't act like you've got me all figured out just because you found the box when the water leaked. The man who left me this place, as well as his passbook. Any idea when I met him?
Surprise me.
When I was 18. At the time, my old man was trying to sell me to his boss's son so he could climb up the ranks. When I heard the news, I ran to the bar and hid there all night, which is where I met him. In the end, we hopped on his burden beast in the dead of night and rode until that stifling old place was nothing but a distant memory.
Wait, you eloped with him when you were 18, but by the time you got here...
We'd broken up, hadn't seen him for over 2 decades. I lived by my lonesome in the frontier for over 20 years. You think after all that time I wouldn't have learned how to line my petticoats with gold backs? Helena flashes a sweet smile, removes the weapon from her shoulder and places it on the table in front of Sylvia. If you boys ain't in, I'll do it myself. My goodness.
You and Sylvia are going to rob a bank? Just the 2 of you?
Maybe I'll be caught outside the vault. Maybe I'll get trapped inside and end up a pile of bones buried in cash. Maybe I'll die trying to escape. Either way, as long as I draw breath, I will see this done. That's how I'm approaching this anyhow. Now I need to know where you 2 stand. Leon takes out a wrench from his tool belt and places it next to Helena's weapon. Your move, Woody.
Who's there?
Jessica, what are you, why now of all times? I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I need to do something. I need to make a difference.
If what Miles said is still bothering you, you'd best just forget about it. You still got the time, the energy to do so many great things. No need to tie yourself down to Davistown and a bunch of old fogies past their prime.
No, Woodrow, too many times now I've had the drive but kept falling short of any number of reasons. I didn't have the ability or the time. The situation changed on me, orders or requests. Even now, I'm not sure what it is I can do. I'm stuck watching helplessly as you're all driven one by one, or driven away one by one to an uncertain future on the frontier. If I don't make a difference this time, I feel like I might get used to it to never make a difference. And if that happens, I can see myself believing to protect my own mental health that I've always been incompetent, that I could never protect anyone. Yeah, I can see myself thinking that there was never anything special meaning to picking up a gun, that I just made a wrong turn somewhere in life and was stuck with it. I don't want that to happen. So much so that I die to make sure it doesn't. Sylvia? If you truly see this as your last chance, well, this is also our last chance to take back what's rightfully ours from the bank. Will you help us, Jessica? As soon as Sylvia stands up, Jessica sees the look on her face. Her complexion is frighteningly pale, but her cheeks are unusually sanguine in a way that only serves to make the former more shocking. Enough! Oh, Woodrow, why are you pointing your gun at me?
Forget everything you just heard and scram.
Why? What's the meaning of this? We have to get to the bank.
Sylvia.
And take back what belongs to Davistown. Take back?
Go, Jessica. Go back to your friends.
Woodrow.
You came here for a shoulder to cry on, and we offered you a hot drink and a pat on the shoulder. No more, no less. You're still young. Every day of your life is a new beginning. I'm serious.
As if her tears had frozen over and evaporated, Jessica's vision suddenly becomes clear. She sees the unusual blush across Sylvia's cheeks. She sees the wrench and the unfamiliar weapon sitting on the table. She sees the dark hole in the muzzle of Woodrow's gun. For the first time in her life, she makes up her mind in a split second. She walks towards Woodrow's pistol, approaches Sylvia, draws her own gun from her waist before placing it on the table in front of her. I'm in. Heck yeah, Jessica. I'm gonna have to update that chart I made. Can't believe it's actually relevant. Got all sorts of people.
But this will keep you quiet.
She's not killed that guy, huh?
Moving to designated
That took a
location.
while.
Dags att välja vårt byte. You saw nothing. Need speed to succeed. Moving to designated location. What in his nature should not be disturbed.
Alright, where are they going? They going here? I think so, probably.
Concentrate. Support incoming.
This physical. We don't have. I guess Flametail's just gonna have to dodge radiation.
Drawing the bead on the target. Any instructions? Ah, losing sight. I'll be careful. Professor, this may be a little hot. Stay calm. Nature should not be disturbed. Roger, welcome. Don't come any closer. In position. Drawing the bead on the target.
We're just gonna Texas those guys.
No. Mission accomplished.
All squads are fully prepared and ready to return to the land ship at a moment's notice. Where's Jessica? Still can't reach her. Her communicator is broken again. Twice in one operation. That's too much of a coincidence. What is that girl up to? Oh, you know, committing crimes. Jessica, you're finally back. Sorry. Don't worry about it. Laura's already packed up your bags. It's not that I'm here to say goodbye. I'm adopting a life of crime. I'm gonna be a bandit. Goodbye? Are you applying for temporary leave? I guess. And your reason for doing so? Personal reasons. There's some personal stuff I have to do no matter what. And how long will you be gone? I don't know, maybe a week, maybe a year. Did you hit your head? Do you really expect us to grant temporary leave for up to a year? If that isn't an option, then I can hand in my resignation. You're quitting? Alright. You said from the start that you're here to say goodbye, and goodbyes don't need an application. I don't know what brought this on all of a sudden, but I need to remind you, if you leave the team, everything you've worked so hard for in Black Steel will likely go up in smoke. Whatever it is you need to do, are you willing to trade all your efforts until now for it?
These are the last explosives in the mine. Let's go grab them.
Okay.
I'll do the inspection. You go ahead and get some rest now.
Yeah, Leon.
What is it?
Are you sure about this? About blowing up the furnace? I know I shouldn't be saying this, but you were so reluctant when we talked about blowing up the energy tower.
If we don't blow it up, how else are we gonna steal the secret passage and hide Helena's whereabouts? As for what I personally think, it ain't important. It don't matter no more. Ain't a single thing left in Davistown that can be fixed. But if we get that money, there's still hope for us. Someday down the road, out on the frontier, right?
There will be for sure.
Hope. Hope. Who knew? One last glimmer of hope would be so damn expensive. But for this last bit of hope, this ticket not to reach the end of the line today, I have to accept that, even if it costs me my life.
I have no idea what you're trying to accomplish, Jessica, but can you guarantee you won't regret it? When using the welding gun, pay attention to the angle between it and the weld. Hold it too high causes spattering and makes it easy to get hurt. For a woman who runs a diner, you sure know way too many things. I spent more than 2 decades traveling across Grand Ole Columbia. I had a lot of choices. When you got dumped, did you ever think about going home? Dumped? Oh, I get it. Leon must have gotten the wrong idea. Nah, I'm the one who dumped him. He ended up being a real by-the-book sort of fella. Didn't suit that gruff face of his one bit. Back then, I was dead set on traveling across Columbia with him, but he thought I was too wild, so we supported each other across the barrens, and I ain't saying it was a bad life. But one night he suddenly proposed to me, said he couldn't stand all that wandering no more and he wanted to settle down on some plate. Going through the same motions in the same place over and over again, I couldn't imagine a worse punishment. So I turned him down, left him all my money and possessions, and told him I'd make a terrible wife. Then I mounted my burden beast and rode off into the sunset. But you still ended up in Davistown. In his letter, he said he'd finally fulfilled his old dream and wanted me to drop by to visit. So I came here thinking the whole trip about how to turn him down in a way that let him keep his middle-aged dignity. But you know the rest. I was too late. He'd already passed away. And then you inherited his diner and stayed. I didn't inherit it, I recaptured it. It'd been ransacked by a gang of thugs, must have fought off at least 15 of them. Yeah, that's how my life is. Romantic stories ain't always have romantic reasons. More often than not, the journey is just the punchline. Yeah, all these years, have you ever had any regrets? Regrets? Like, for eloping or for breaking up or for not being able to see him one last time or for staying behind in Davistown, stuff like that. Nope. I feel bad about a lot of things, but I wouldn't say I regret them. I've enjoyed the results of my choices and accepted the cost, all with complete peace of mind. I don't know. You made such a huge decision without thinking it through. That's not what I mean. I've given a lot of thoughts to your questions, and I've heard a lot of other people's answers too. In a sense, I even agree with them. But I can't just regurgitate what they said and let them make my choices for me, because in the end, their answers aren't mine. I don't know if throwing away my past life is too steep a cost. I don't know if I'll regret this later, nor do I know what will happen to me in the future. But despite all that, I have to do this. I understand. Nevertheless, I have to reject Jessica Brinley's request to be temporarily discharged from the team. I see, then I'll have to resign. Jessica. Liscarm, Captain. Even the slickest, most experienced veterans who don't give two shits about their job wouldn't throw around the word resign as casually as you do. I also have to imagine that maybe what I'm seeing here is a Jessica who's finally cast aside her fears and self-doubt. Jessica who's finally found herself. I still object to your decision, vehemently. But if you made up your mind... I'm sorry, I really am. Give it a break already. And stay safe out there. Jessica. I'm sorry, Laura. To tell you the truth, I had an inkling this would happen when I couldn't contact you. But if you've already made up your mind, can I get one last hug? Think of it as a parting gift. Before Jessica can answer, Laura has already taken a few steps forward and wrapped her arms tightly around her. With her back to Liscarm and Franca, she has also stuffed a tiny slip of paper into Jessica's pocket. Wait until we're gone to read it. Take care, stay safe. Anything else we need to do, Captain? No. Then let's get going. I like this picture. This is a nice picture. Yeah, Woodrow, are you and Leon really going to be safe out here in the woods? After the heist, there will definitely be a bunch of people after you.
You really need to start thinking about your own future instead of threatening over Huskeezers.
I haven't given it much thought. Maybe I'll have plenty of time to figure it out from a jail cell.
Not planning on staying a mercenary.
I just don't want to spend the rest of my life on a battlefield.
Jessica, whether you decide to keep fighting or to put the battlefield behind you, I just hope you won't blame yourself for not finding an answer.
What did you end up choosing?
After the Revolutionary War, I stumbled around blindly for a long, long time. Until I finally decided to live a boring life day by day.
Does that really count as an answer?
Why not? Just 'cause you're the one who thinks so doesn't mean it's wrong. You're still young. Got a long road ahead of you.
Will I find my answer? As she looks at the now abandoned safe house, Jessica feels a soreness coming from her nose. She sniffles and gives it a rub, then opens up the slip of paper from before. Following the instructions of a few numbers scribbled on the note, Jessica turns an inconspicuous corner of the safe house where she finds a partition made from wooden boards. 5, 6, 7. The back of the 8th board is hollow. The cavity behind the board is filled to the brim with equipment, all brought here by Jessica herself when she set out from Black Steel's landship. Sitting on top of another note of the same style of scribbles. I take it you have unfinished business in Davistown. This gear should come in handy. Just forget about everything else and do it. I believe in your choice you made, so believe in yourself too. At the bottom of the note is one last line. Goodbye, Jessica. Hopefully, we already parted ways on a high note. Dang, Laura is psychic, apparently. And now she's truly Jessica the Liberated. Oh, it makes all sense. It makes so much sense. Yeah, sorry I'm late. Or sorry I'm not late, am I? I needed some time to sort through my gear.
It's fine. We've still got 5 minutes.
Oh, where did you get all this stuff? A parting gift from a friend. Then I'll have to give him a right and proper thank you if we ever meet again.
One last rundown after we go through the door. Helena and Leon are in charge of clearing any obstacles and grabbing the money. Jessica and I will be on crowd control. Then we catch up afterwards. Once the deed is done, Helena takes the money with her through the secret passage, while the rest of us draw attention away from her. Got any questions? Yeah, if only there were more explosives. We gotta give that bank a little surprise.
Settle down. If the info we got from Sylvia is correct, we'll need to save most of them for them to breach the last door.
The key to our success is speed. We don't have much time. The mercs on duty will be back in half an hour.
Even if we could get the job done in that time, the explosion will definitely attract Max Steel's attention. However, most of the mercenaries are back at the land ship tonight and will take some time to arrive.
If it comes to it, just leave it to me. I'll buy you the time you need. Time to go.
Who the hell are you?
Hands off the alarm.
Ah! This is a robbery! Just seeing Jessica say that is amazing. As long as y'all cooperate, nobody's gonna get hurt or dying tonight. Oh, no way. How is this happening?
Shush. See, you're in the same boat as the other young lady over there. This is your one warning. We won't be kind next time. Now then, folks, just don't panic and follow our instructions. Those are the conditions for your survival.
Seeing how there are no objections, why don't you all mosey on over to the main lobby and squat down with your hands on your heads? We all know each other here, no funny business. Now move it. You'll need to pass through a total of 4 doors to get to the vault. The first one is the doors in the reception area, which needs a key, but any employee can get it. The second is a passcode lock in the reception room. The code changes every day, but there are certain rules. From what I've gathered, today's code should be...
Perfect. The reception room key works.
Next up is the secret door, behind the tapestry to the right of the entrance. Over here, looks like Sylvia was right on the money.
794461. Yeah, it worked. But I'll be damned. That girl's got one good head on her shoulders.
What's next? And inside the vault there are 2 more doors. One's a security fence and the other is a vault door weighing dozens of tons. The security fence can be broken through by force, but because it's connected to the security system, the only safe way through is via passcode. The code is split into 3 parts, one for president, one for the manager, and another randomly generated by a cipher. The cipher is located in a safe inside the reception room and you'll have to force that one open. How'd it go? Didn't damage anything inside the safe, did ya? Mint condition. Can't believe your skills haven't rusted after not using them in years. What's the matter? That was an invitation for you to start bragging. I mean, ain't nobody else in town with your skill set.
Don't mind me, just worried about how Woodrow's doing. And that's number 22. Now you're all tied up. Next up is...
I never imagined those would be the circumstances we'd meet again, Miss Brindley. I recommend worrying about your responsibilities first. Also, I've heard this bank keeps a series of secret numbers, 2 of which are held by you and this gentleman here. I hope you're both willing to cooperate.
Now take a walk with us. If you're not feeling cooperative, well, I guess I'll have to shoot ya. Pick up the pace.
A good evening, you two. Helena, what is the meaning of this? You got nothing to fear, sir. I just wanted to ask you a few simple questions. Will you tell us the passcode, or do we tie you to this door and blast you both to pieces? Your choice. Friendly reminder, it is not a crime to reveal secrets under life-threatening duress. You damn thugs.
5.
Don't even think about it, you bastards don't deserve a single penny. You all deserve to rot out on the frontier.
4.
You complacent idiots. Put all your eggs into the mine, yet you still have the gall to whine to the bank after getting wiped out?
3.
Nobody gives a damn about your rotten minerals. It's the era of high tech and automation. I mean, you need minerals for that. Your only value to Columbia is being thrown out to the frontier. The sooner the better.
2.
You filthy uneducated hicks, you idiots don't even have a damn clue what the numbers mean. Serves you right getting tricked.
1.
654784.
Never seen anyone spit out a string of numbers that fast. Okay, now that your boss has squealed, it's your turn, ma'am. Give me the passcode or die.
Hurry up and tell them already. Do you really want to die here? Mr. Theremin, what would you even do with the money? Do you seriously think you can get rid of us and start over at the frontier? Of course you can't. We're everywhere. We will follow your footsteps and find you no matter where you go. The money you steal will smell as sweet as honey, and soon enough our local associates will swarm all over you to eat it up. And with the promise of a few extra benefits, they'll even personally deliver your heads to us on a silver platter.
What's the goddamn passcode?
368654. Go on, take it. You won't accomplish a thing, my friends. Nothing will change. This tragedy is doomed to happen again and again.
Shut up.
Shut up. Is it human nature to be greedy? And Mr. Theremin here is a prime example. Had he not been so eager to cling on to things that never belonged to him. Shut your mouth. How far you've fallen to mingle with this sorry lot, Miss Jessica Brindley. Gotta hand it to manager. She's very brave. Leon Theremin here could have left this place ages ago, taken his children with him to Ironforge City, Newlatesburg, or Bunker Hill. What kind of blasting engineer wouldn't be able to earn enough to put food on the table? How else would he have ended up like... How else would he have ended up like this if not for his greed? You... Leon, she's right. Oh, the door's open. Leon suddenly turns to look at Helena without saying a word. She is shocked to see the panic in his eyes. It takes her a few moments to understand why. Sorry, I meant she gave us the right passcode. I know. It's fine, I know. If you managed to open the first 3 doors, congratulations. The last is merely an extra credit question. It appears the most complicated, but the solution is the simplest. Blast it open.
Leon, how are the explosives?
Primed and ready.
Do it.
Like a precise surgical operation, the steel bars buried deep within the concrete are located within pinpoint accuracy and twisted until they break under the force of the explosion. The fuel ignites under tremendous temperatures, bursting into layers upon layers of flames that gently wrap around the steel. Then, at the moment it lets its guard down, all its defenses are stripped away. What is Jessica's face? The powerful backdraft caused by the explosion tears apart the stack of banknotes floating in the upper level, and the shredded paper is sent spiraling down the underground cavity. For a few moments, the snowfall here is heavier than it is outside. The 4 people present are rendered speechless by the snow that so many people could only dream of seeing.
Breathtaking.
Lord Almighty, I have never seen so much money in my life.
But it's also nothing compared to what the bank has bled from us. No time for idle thoughts, folks. Start filling those bags. We got more than enough to keep us busy. Don't just stand there gawking. What are you thinking about?
Yeah, nothing in particular. It's just, this is the first time in my life I've ever wanted money so badly. It feels new and exciting. Just gonna get addicted to that thrill.
Job done. Be sure to rest up now.
It's gonna become Colombia's most notorious bank robber. Yeah, she's rich, but she could always steal more. I love this. I love how this is... I did not expect a bank robbery. But I love what this has quickly become. So long, stooge. Everyone will eventually figure out what they're capable of. They just need a little time. Single objective, but the middle field is full of lasers. Fair enough. Uh-oh, it's the police. Hold on for 10 more minutes. Black Steel's convoy will be here soon.
That's not going to take us to the energy tower. I'll stay behind. Y'all go on ahead.
How much time can you buy us?
How much time do you need?
At least half an hour? Woodrow draws his revolver from its holster and counts the bullets.
An hour, maybe. You need this time to set the explosives too.
More than enough. Woodrow.
Goodbye, Woodrow. Hurry. Right, Jessica.
What is it, sir?
Thanks. Thanks for bringing it all the way here.
Woodrow fixes his hat and turns around to walk down the long street. Soon his silhouette has disappeared into the night, leaving only a farewell ringing in the air.
Until we meet again, friends.
There goes a hero. Sir, we've finished testing the propulsion equipment. The engineering team is double-checking the connection structural integrity now. Sir?
What's the ETA on our departure?
Everything should be ready by Wednesday.
Good. Very good.
Pardon, but I've got something to report. I'll take my leave then.
All right. What is it?
The team stationed on the plate has requested backup. They say a gang of robbers has blown open the bank's vault door and stolen all the reserve funds inside. There are 4 of them, and they've all been identified. It's Mr. Bianchi and his friends, as well as...
As well as who?
As well as Miss Brinley.
Huh.
Should we send anyone, considering that you just sent away all the security personnel stationed at the bank the other day?
Let's prioritize preparing to tow the plate. No need to stop the work we have on hand. But send out anyone we have to spare.
One more thing, considering Miss Brinley's unique status, should we...
Don't hurt her. We have to save face for the Brinleys, after all. As for Woody, I don't see us subduing him uninjured. Forget it, just make sure he stays alive. As for the rest, let the troops do as they see fit.
Alright, understood.
Right, which one's carrying the cash?
Still unclear.
No matter who it is, send Tilla and have her keep a close eye.
Have you heard the news? Jessica... We have to do something. The order from above is that, aside from Jessica and Woodrow, the team can deal with everyone else as they see fit. That's all it says.
Franca, tell everyone to prepare to deploy. We've got the order to hunt them down, too.
How are you going to follow it?
We can help them, or we can help them, or we could take them in. But either way, it's a race against time. We need to find them before anyone else does.
Helena, Leon, this is as far as I can take you. I'm hearing sounds of transports that aren't from the main street. Black Steel probably sent additional men after us. Just as we anticipated.
Are we going through with the plan?
Yeah, I'll stay outside and lure them away.
Godspeed. Leave this last leg to the journey to us.
Okay, Jessica. Now you can only trust yourself.
Looks like Black Steel will be dragging the plate off to the city in the next couple of days. We only have a few guys guarding the door, but bet they have everyone else working on the connection.
Perfect. Won't be too hard to deal with them then.
How are those soldiers doing?
Sleeping like babies. Might wake up with a sore neck, though.
We need to hurry. If we want to blow up the power plant and seal off that passage completely, we need to set up the explosives there.
Look at those car lights. The Black Steel people must be getting close to the mine.
Elena, you should go. I can take care of this by myself.
Leon.
Your job is more important.
Still haven't broken through their defenses? Not a single car can get close to the Central Avenue. How many robbers are there out on the street? Just one, a Sancta. Is the backup here yet? Not yet. Let's stop the car here. Have everyone still with us bring their gear. We'll go around the road and break through from there. Ambush up ahead. Going by the bullet marks, that's Black Steel etched ammo. Good news, we found our princess. Give me the amplifier. Miss Brinley, whatever your reason is for participating in this robbery, we won't make this hard on you as long as you cooperate and turn yourself in. Draw her attention, I'll send out a drone to track her. Yeah, stay back. I'm not surrendering. The bullet came from the diner over there. Let's get in position. We'll attack as soon as we're ready. Miss Brinley, you may not understand what's going to happen to you after this. You will be sent to prison, be abandoned by your family and friends, and society will look at you with disdain. Can you really bear all of that? Sir, with all due respect, I've worked with everyone at Blacksteel for a long time now. I'm not a naive rich girl I used to be. I know better than anyone what the price of this is. But I still have to do it. There are some things you just do, no matter the price. That guy up ahead, that him? Sure looks like the old man. But you see those transports flipped upside down? He did that. My gosh. Like a wandering lost soul, the figure stands still in the middle of the road, under the flickering streetlights.
Kid, is there something you can't say to my face?
You can hear us from this far away?
I've lived in far noisier places than this, and I only survived this long thanks to my sharp ears.
A legendary mercenary like you have a lot of awe-inspiring stories to tell.
A legendary mercenary. Now that's the first time anyone's described me like that.
There's a long corridor in Black Seal where pictures of our founder and his war buddies are hung. I saw one with you and our boss in it. It's inconspicuous, but I noticed it.
What a shame. My stories aren't as legendary as you think. All I've been through is war.
That doesn't matter, actually. I've wanted to fight the boss for quite a while, too. Still, he's the boss. Can't exactly pull a gun on him. But if you and him are in the same picture, old man, I wonder what that says about your skills.
Rotten.
You may not be so rotten. You mean so rotten you could throw a dozen of our teams for a loop and single-handedly keep us pinned down on the street?
I mean so rotten that everyone I ever wanted to save died a miserable death right in front of me. Everything I ever wanted to protect fell before my eyes. Those I loved chose to leave me. Those I despised I couldn't kill with my own hands. I ain't no legend. I'm just an old failure of a backbeast. An old backbeast guarding the only bone he has left.
When he sees the old man's fingertip twitch, the mercenary keenly realizes that something terrible is about to go down. He aims his weapon at the target as fast as he can, but a bullet pierces his shoulder first. Ugh. Damn it, I can't see what he's doing. So how come I'm starting to think this is getting fun? Stop approaching him, you madman.
Careful, not a step closer, kid. I'm putting everything on the line for this.
Yeah, so you came in here anyway. Miss Brindley, bullets can ricochet indoors. I don't want to hurt you. Yeah, I don't want to hurt you either. Please take everyone with you and leave. I'm sorry, but this is the mission handed down to us. Not everyone's a princess like you, who can do whatever she pleases. I'm so sorry about all this. The girl's voice is coming from behind the booth seats. It is soft and with a hint of doubt, just like the mercenary's first impression of her, sensitive and cowardly. He carefully inches forward with his handgun drawn and held up next to his face. There is no one sitting in the booth, just a sniper rifle on the table. The device on the trigger ensures that it can be remotely controlled. A communication device sits beside it. The girl's voice can be heard through its speakers. I'm really sorry. A remotely controlled sniper rifle? The target is not in the kitchen. Second floor is clear. No outside either. She's not here. Hurry and withdraw immediately. This is a feint. If you know I do whatever I please, why did you expect me to act exactly how you anticipated? No, don't withdraw yet. A fiery beam of light crashes into the ground outside the window. All units, get down. Before you can finish, there is a loud explosion. A tire crashes through the window and, still smoking and on fire, makes a few loops on the ground before falling the grass-strewn floor. All blown up without any transport. It'll take them some time to make it to the power plant. That's plenty. Were there more of them? Oh, it looks like I need to hurry.
According to the plan, you'll leave through this secret passage and I'll set off the power plant. Once this place explodes, no one will find the passage.
Leon.
Do you have a map of the route?
Yeah.
This path is connected to the underground sewer system. The passage there are complicated and twisty. Only one will lead you outside the plate. Jessica hid some transports and supplies near the exit. Avoid military stations on the way to the frontier. There's bound to be plenty of thugs and bandits, though, too.
Leon, how many times have we been over this already? As for the dangers of the road, Woodrose talked my ears off about them already. Yes, it's dangerous, we all know that.
I'm just worried.
I don't like making promises, you know. But I can promise you this. No matter what happens, I'll do everything to reach my destination. Even if I fall.
You won't. You won't, Helena, because I'll be right behind you. I'll take down every obstacle that slows you down. That's my promise to you. You just need to keep running straight ahead. Remember, keep going straight. Don't look back.
I will, Leon. Goodbye.
Now go, hurry.
He looks on as the dark, narrow tunnel engulfs Helena's silhouette. Finally, he can't help but turn around to look at the plant's generator in the center of the room. There is barely anyone left on the plates, but the fire in the furnace burns as strong as ever. The flames are reflected in his eyes, dancing, stirring, leaping. And even that is unable to melt the frigid, icy lying in their depths.
Now it's just you and me.
You're late. The old Sancta's gone.
Where did he go? The mine. You're wounded. It's fine. He held back. I almost had him, damn it.
One suggestion, if you girls run into him, try tucking his left shoulder.
What? I appreciate the advice. Now, if you'll excuse us. Faster, I have to hurry.
Leon sets the explosives on the wall and lifts his hand to wipe out the sweat that's gathered on his brow, but the heat immediately causes his skin to sweat even more.
Hurry.
His lips start chapping. His saliva no longer serves to moisten his throat and mouth.
Faster.
He sticks another one onto the wall, then another and another. The light of the intense fire sweeps into the bottom of his eyes, seemingly tearing his soul in two. One half supports his body movements, but he can keep working, while the other half has left his body entirely and stands firm in front of the furnace, staring into the raging fire. As he attaches another stick of dynamite to the wall, he notices someone walking toward him from the light of the fire.
Come with me, Leon. We'll head to the frontier. That's where our new home is.
Miles, don't go. Where are you going?
Another stick of dynamite is set on the wall. Miles turns towards the furnace and a small shadow emerges.
I'm planning to leave Davistown. I don't want to stay here anymore. I'm leaving, Dad.
Benny!
Don't leave me. You're the only child I have left. Don't leave me like Carl did.
Another stick of dynamite on the wall, the fire engulfs Benny and twists into a tall young man. Good news, Dad. There's a mercenary company that thinks I'm pretty good. They say I'm a good fit for the gig. I'll be leaving in a few days.
No, don't go. I won't let you. You'll die on the battlefield, Carl.
Another stick of dynamite, the young man turns into a fireball and explodes in all directions.
No! Carl, come back!
The final stick of dynamite is set up on the wall. A woman emerges from the fireball. He no longer remembers what she looked like, but he never once forgot her voice.
Mom?
Leon. I have to go now. I'm sorry, I can't support you anymore.
Mom, don't apologize. I'm doing well here.
Leon, sorry for leaving you all alone.
No, Mom. I have a family here. Everyone here is my family.
Goodbye, Leon.
Stay here, Mom. Stay here with me.
Yeah, Leon, how are things going on your end?
The explosives are all in place. Once they're set off, the plant will explode in no time. Then, after the energy tower comes crashing down, no one will ever find that passage again.
When are you leaving? I've lured the nearby mercenaries away, so I'm on my way there to pick you up.
No. Don't come.
Have you already left?
No, it's just... I don't want to go. But... Jessica, tell this to Sylvia for me. No, I won't. If you have something to tell her, you tell her yourself. She's a clever girl, and she's so young. A nice girl. If she finds a good man in the frontier, she should let herself fall in love again. I want her to be happy. God. Why'd I have to treat her like that? If I had known Carl was going to... Carl? No, forget what I said. Tell her I'm glad she still remembers and loves Carl. But he's gone. He's not here anymore. The living deserve a choice. The living shouldn't be bogged down by the dead. Yeah, but you deserve a choice too. You need to live and leave this place. You'll get to start fresh in the future. Don't do anything stupid, I'm begging you. Think about Woodrow and Helena. They'll be heartbroken. And Benny. He just started school. He's got a bright future ahead of him. Don't you want to see what kind of man he'll become? Don't you want to see your son again? And Miles, he's still waiting for you. But she wants me to stay. Who? She spreads her arms, spread her heart, showed me that pretty face. And from that moment on, I found my dreams in her embrace. Listen to me, Jessica. I can't leave this place. Because that woman left me here on that rainy spring day. It was the perfect day for a seedling to take root and sprout. My roots have grown too deep. No one can pluck me out anymore. Leon. It's gonna be a big bang. Cover your ears. Don't be afraid and don't be sad. My life didn't begin the day I was born. It began the day I got here. In the same way, my death won't be on the day my life comes to an end. It'll be the day I leave this place. Leon, please. Don't worry, Jessica. I won't die. 'Cause I'll be here forever. I'll live forever in her embrace. No.
A loud explosion rings out high above, and its massive shockwave shoves Jessica to the ground. Ooh, they put some animated smoke in this picture. She tries her hardest to get up and move her legs, to run forward, but she finds herself unable to budge. Her body has never felt so heavy before. She lifts her head up to look into the distance. A thick cloud of smoke is gushing out of a giant fissure in the tower's body. The rubble mercilessly pummels the ground alongside a shower of sparks, turning the nearby buildings into wreckage beyond recognition. No. A frigid wind blows towards her from afar, turning everything before her into nothing but a hazy blur and leaving the corners of her eyes feeling awfully cold. She reaches her fingers up toward the sky as though she is trying to grasp something in the haze. She blinks and her vision starts to clear up. She sees a snowflake. It's snowing. Is that the power plant? Hurry, Franca, drive faster. You hear that, you stupid car? Faster. Did it work? Jessica, what's the situation there? Leon, respond. I'm not getting a signal. Damn it. Helena stops in her tracks and considers turning back to look. The underground passage's structure, fragile to begin with, is unable to withstand the explosion on the surface. The fissures on the walls are rapidly spreading as far as she can see, almost as if underlying the fact that she is walking a path of no return. And so in the end, she doesn't turn around. Instead, she keeps running. She simply throws herself into the hidden tunnel and towards the unknown up ahead.
I really have gotten old. Couldn't even dodge a little explosion like that. That's towards the energy tower. Jessica,
Woodrow!
what's the situation at the energy tower? Has Helena under the underground passage yet? What happened?
Leon said he was staying. He said he didn't want to leave. He didn't. I didn't see him come out. I waited. Maybe I missed him.
Does Helena know?
I can't reach her.
Are you crying?
Am I? I think I am.
Ah, it's all over now. You'll be fine. Let's see. You're from Black Steel and Brinley. They won't touch you.
Where are you going, Woodrow? Can I come look for you?
I still got some stuff to take care of. Can't go bringing you with me.
Will I ever see you again?
Maybe, Jessica. Maybe.
Woodrow leaned on the wall. He feels dazed and dizzy, and the burn on his shoulder aches. He takes out the bullet from his pocket. He can barely make it out under the faint moonlight, so all he does is rub its engraving. In Lauterin.
Forgiveness. Damned right. Maybe this bullet will forgive what my heart cannot.
They gotta attack 40 times? Okay.
We
Can
can take
do.
care of ourselves, Professor. You just focus on giving orders.
Oh, I can attack 40 times.
ついてきて。A new challenge. The opponent. Any instructions? Ah, losing sight.
Maybe I should have done multi-target, though. For her. Oh well, it's fine. Okay, I'm listening.
毒薬の準備が整いました。幻覚が見えるかしら。Stay calm. Any instruction feels bad to lose your target, doesn't it? この毒はゆっくりとあなた方の命を蝕みますのよ。Deploying. この毒はゆっくりとあなた方の命を蝕みますのよ。
Yeah, we'll just do that.
Feels fresh every time when someone gives me orders.
So you're getting a little.
I'll be right back. この毒はゆっくりとあなた方の命を蝕みますのよ。Need speed to succeed. 我が無知液何時に死を
Oh snap! It's Cliff. It's Cliff himself, the legendary mercenary and founder of Black Steel Worldwide. Attack and defense are greatly reduced upon taking damage from a heat event. Okay.
この毒はゆっ Kill like a shooting star. That's what they say.
Ow. Why not?
What do you know of cowards break the silence first? I'll heal you.
I wonder if he interacts with energy.
I see them. I'll be right back.
I hope he's doing something. Just did something there. Some kind of AoE. It's just standing there.
Got a problem that needs solving? No need to panic.
That a stun? I guess it's like a AoE stun or something.
Feels fresh every tail like a shooting star. That's what they say. Stay calm. Community shadow. Poison. Got a problem that needs solving?
Our champagne bottles do not do a lot against him.
Poison. Any instruction tail like a shooting star. That's what they say. Poison. Poison. Feels fresh every tail like a shooting star. That's what they say.
Ow. Jessica! Protect me! Jessica, you die! We just teleport? And that guy leaked? Oh my gosh.
I'll heal you. Any instructions for me?
It's falling apart.
Feels fresh a tail like a shooting star. That's what they say. Need speed to succeed. Your lives are mine.
How much do you think he has? Too much.
Any instruction tail like a shooting star. That's what they say.
I know. Maybe they shouldn't have brought back Skull Shatter. Maybe they shouldn't have done that.
Bad luck. You ran into me.
I just teleport again. I didn't even notice Typhon died. When did she die? Alright.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm fine.
Why are the Sancta bosses always the most difficult? So he's got less resistance, technically. Attacks reduce the target's defense for a few seconds, disaffecting stack. Oh, okay. Takes, you know, takes damage for reduced defense for taking damage from the event. Stuns the target and adjacent units and then attacks 3 times consecutively. Okay. Upon entering second form, gains the ability to immediately clear the SP of all vents on the field. Okay. Attacking events is increased, and so is attack speed. Stroke of Thunder stuns the target and adjacent units, then attacks 6 times consecutively. If the target retreats or is defeated, the attack will penetrate a certain distance of this skill, and this skill will be referenced. So if he kills, he can do it again. Cool. Very well. If that's how it's gonna be.
Orignium, are you to blame for this battle?
Yes.
Can your eyes keep up?
I put her one back.
Good timing. Feels fresh tail like a shooting star. That's what they say. 毒薬の準備が我が密域が汝に死をもたらさん。True to your shadow. Concentrate. 我が密域が汝に死をもたらさん。Losing sight. Please, trust in me. Support incoming. Got a problem that needs solving? 幻覚が見えるかしら。この時はゆっくりとあなた方の命を蝕みますね。What do you need of me? Get out of my home! I see them. I'll be right back. Poison. Waga mitsuiki ga nanji ni shi o motarasan. No need to panic. I see them. I'll be right back. Feels bad to lose your target, doesn't it?
Yeah, see, you can just stun Texas. That really hampers her.
Bad luck. You ran into me.
Ah, you can shoot her there.
Support incoming. In position. Drawing the bead on the target. Poison kiss. Where do you wish to fly? Now ignite. この時はゆっくりとあなた方の命を蝕みますね。 Moving to designated location. Where do you wish to spend this blood? You need an affair. このだけゆっくりとあなた方の命を蝕みます。I see them. I'll be right back.
Good job, Jessica.
Need speed to succeed. 我がについて何時に死をもたらす。
Ow. Stop it.
Roger, Wilson. Permission of fire.
Now that, the shield was the shield turned her. I forgot you could do that. I actually was just placing the shield to draw attention. But it turned her, so then she could kill that guy. So that was good. What's the situation? We've already tracked down Miss Brinley, but the mercenaries are understandably not giving this their best. However, going by how long it's been, she should be almost out of ammunition. Any news on Tila's end? Helena and the miner took the money into the energy tower, and neither of them came out. So they disappeared without a trace. Right in front of everyone, there must be another exit. Tell Tila to keep looking. Yes, sir. What about Woody? Has he left yet? Mr. Bianchi hasn't left a plate. It seems he's effectively given up on their initial escape plan. After all, according to Tila's report, he was planning to hide in the mountains with the miner once everything was over. How does Tila know that? Where did you go, Woody? He's right behind you. He's heading towards us. Should we send someone to intercept him? Forget it. Let him come. If he insists on coming, no one can stop him. Misc, there's a burning roadblock up ahead. I can't drive past it. You'll have to walk. Are those black steel transports? Was it Ridro or Jessica? At the very least, that tells us that not everyone was inside when the energy tower exploded. Wait, Liscom. There's news from command. Warning all fire teams. The current situation is that after the recent explosion, the target engineer status is unknown and target Helena is missing. God. HQ orders are to give up on target Woodrow and focus on capturing target Jessica. The target is currently in an abandoned alley on the eastern side of the mine. Liscom, what do we do? There has to be something we can do. Our team knows the mine better than anybody else. Let's just try to make it to her ASAP. You got here much sooner than I expected, Woody. Every last building on the way was empty. There wasn't much to do but come find you. Are you blaming me for it? Anybody else deserved more blame. Sometimes a man bears sins not because of something he's done, but because of something he didn't. Now then you should have shot that bullet of yours decades ago. But you chose to flee. Why? Because after a long silence, my god-forsaken empathy finally realized that another Sancta had showed up by my side again. It was you. I was a mess, Woody. Empathizing with me must have just felt terrible. What am I supposed to do? It's the nature of our Sancta. We share everything, always. And compared to what I read from your brain, what I had to go through at that POW camp might have been a walk in the park. What a cruel fate. You despise me so much, yet not even my pain can bring you joy. Reporting. Jessica spotted. Sharing coordinates. The target is heading outside the mines. She has a heavy energy cannon and a semi-auto assault rifle. And a handgun of unknown make. Is the cannon her third skill? She's carrying all that by herself. Oh right, she also has a heavy shield on her back. A kind that can be used as carriage, if necessary. Well, that's something. Looks like after all these years, our princess has gotten pretty remarkable. Sir, free up the comms. Why are you narrating like this? How's she doing? Does she look like she could put up a huge fight? It's easy to spook a cornered thief. They get jumpy if you pull anything. She seems kind of calm. She's walking straight ahead and not doing anything. In the alley, the girl carries her weapons and advances arduously through the blizzard. The dilapidated walls and the sides of the street slowly pass her by. That is, until she reaches a fork. She freezes there for a brief moment, then tugs her collar and turns onto the path, where she must walk against the wind to proceed.
The time was frozen at that POW camp. But outside, the war kept raging.
That's right. After you two were taken prisoner, I took even more men to even vaster battlefields. In January, we had to cross the river against heavy cannon fire. In August, we had to defend our position in a scorching hot desert, ceding not even an inch to the enemy. Sometimes we proved victorious, and we stepped forward over the bodies of our enemies. Other times, we found ourselves on the back foot and we retreated past the bodies of our friends. And sometimes things got any worse. Sometimes I had to sacrifice some to save the others.
Just like what you did to me and him.
Right. I've done it plenty of times. Not just to you two, but to who knows how many. That's the dilemma war always puts in front of me. It may seem like a choice, but it's not. It's an inviolable rule. Whoops.
But you still made the call.
I had no choice. If I didn't, all our efforts would have gone to waste. We would have faced defeat. That's why I chose to accept the rules.
It's a sad thing seeing a man you used to admire get reshaped by the rules and logic of war. You even remember what you used to be like, before you had any part in the Revolutionary War. Do you remember the man who was always carrying the scriptures as he traveled everywhere, promising to use the gun in his hand to end all conflict and injustice?
Of course I do, Woody. I remember what I was like, and I remember what you were like too. You always had a brush with you. You wanted to have one of your paintings decorate a chapel one day. Have you ever so much as touched a brush these past years?
No. Not since I had to get 4 fingers reattached.
The target is turning left. She's walking pretty slowly. Nearby members prepare to take her in.
These coordinates, they're just up ahead. Hurry, Liscom.
Wait. The two turn into an alley and stop in their tracks, so the girl is only back suddenly appears before them.
Jessica.
Hearing her name, the girl turns around. When she notices who they are, a hint of joy appears on her face, only to be quickly replaced by a sense of helplessness and panic. Okay, Captain, you two came.
Yeah, we got your coordinates. We rushed over here.
I'm sorry, Captain. I'm not sure what there's any clearing up this mess I made.
I approved your application to withdraw from the team, so strictly speaking, I'm not your captain anymore.
Right, I guess that's true. You two must be here to capture me then.
No, we're here as your friends.
I got a transmission on our way here. Supposedly during the explosion, Leon... Well, I'm not sure if you knew, but regardless, I thought you'd probably want someone at your side. Yeah, I knew. I was on the call with him right until the moment it blew up. Thanks for coming. It's just... Are you okay, Jessica? I'm not okay. I'm awful. Do you want us to come over and give you a hug? No, don't. If you have anything to say, you can say it from there. I can hear you clearly from this distance. Jessica. Stay there and don't move, Franca. Flustered, Jessica pulls her gun from her waist to stop Franca from advancing. Are you going to point your gun at me? I'm sorry, I just... Franca, I don't... Just leave me alone. Jessica. Let me talk to her. Is there anywhere you want to go, Jessica, after this is all over? Where could I go? Those drones have been following me this whole time. You two shouldn't have come. Once you get back, you'll have to explain all these things you won't be able to answer. I'm scared. I'm terrified. Don't worry about that. If I can't explain it, then so be it. As long as we're all together, there's nothing to worry about. Don't be afraid. But I am. I'm so afraid. What are you afraid of? That pristine pool of water could be too warm, too wonderful. I'm not sure I'm following you there. Suddenly, the headlights of a transport point straight at Jessica, and she is enveloped and imprisoned by a number of giant halos. The girl's eyes are unable to bear such intense light. All she can do is hold her gun with one arm and shield her eyes with the other. After a short while, she seems to have adjusted to the brightness. She puts her arm down and stares into the distance at the convoys of cars driving toward her. How's life treating you all these years?
In my decade on the frontier, I kept my distance from crowds and wandered all around alone in a herd of birds and beasts.
Why didn't you go back to the holy city?
Didn't want to. What about you? Why didn't you go back?
I'm a mercenary. La Llorona has no place for me. So why didn't you want to go back?
Huh. Ain't nothing so unpleasant. It can't be forgotten in La Llorona. But most of the POWs died in that camp. Hardly anyone still remembers. But someone's got to.
Yet here you are, living the kind of peaceful life you say you reject. Day after day, year after year.
But I ain't ever forgot. I still remember them to this day.
I always known there'd come a day when you came to settle the score. I just never thought it would take so long. Oh, if he actually shoots him, he's gonna fall though. That's gonna be interesting. We've surrounded the target. Repeat, we have surrounded the target. Drop your weapons, Miss Brindley. Weapons. This is the end of the road. Look around you. There's nowhere to run. The charade is over. The snowstorm is only going to get stronger. Damn it. I was supposed to get off work early today and catch up my beauty sleep. I don't want to apologize to anyone, but after everything I've said today, it should probably come across as disingenuous. Or she does want to. Don't worry, you'll be fine. The company's making a huge ruckus out of this. But everyone here knows that nothing's going to happen to you. I heard about you not long after I joined the company, Miss Brindley. Everyone warned me not to get on your bad side, because your family has more lawyers than we've got mercs here today. Probably even more than you're thinking. See, you even realize it yourself. Worst case, you'll get a year, maybe 2 of jail time. Then you'll be released and get to live the kind of life you want to again. Could you put down the amplifier? It's unnecessary at this distance. What, after I brought it all this way? I'm begging you, shut up. Sure, if you got a better idea of how to persuade her. It's fine, the scar, you don't need to defend me. I know how everyone sees me. Right, it seems like ever since I was a kid, I've never thought about the consequences before I did anything. Because no matter what, my family would take care of the mess. That's probably why I came off as selfish. But that's not how it's supposed to go. There's always a price. Even when you make a hasty, rash decision, you gotta bear with the consequences. Jessica, you said you thought this all through when you asked to lead the team. No, I'm not talking about tonight. I'm talking about when I arrived at Fort Barren 7 years ago. When I first walked through those huge doors. At first, I only ever wanted to be a tester of the equipment and applied technology department. I never imagined that one day I'd be standing on a real battlefield pointing my weapons at a real person. Right, that's where the root of the problem lies. We often pick up our weapons without considering the price that needs to be paid. Take this little handgun, for example. I can hold it up and with just 2 hands. I can pull the trigger with just 1 finger. I learned how to use it in less than a month. What's even more scary is I only need a second to take somebody's life with it. But it would take me a lifetime to forget that 1 second. See, that's how foolish I was. Before I picked it up, I never even considered who I pointed at in the future. But I'd already fired my first shot. Not even thinking through where it would be unforgivable. Have you thought it through, then? Because you've been holding your gun up this whole time. Hell, you haven't lowered it even for a second. How arrogant. That sounds way.
How arrogant. When did I ever say I came to settle the score with you? You think I brought this bullet here for revenge?
Are you telling me you're not stuck in the past?
No, you're the one who's stuck. You lived to your 90s as a merc. Can you really adjust to any kind of life outside the battlefield?
Woody, the reason I'm still unwilling to leave the battlefield is because war never ends.
Columbia's war ended a long time ago.
It did, but then Bolivar's war began right on its heels. Victoria's war may have calmed down for the moment, but there's no stopping the fallout it started. War is always here. It merely takes a break every now and then before erupting somewhere else.
Then why stay on the battlefield? To be continuously baptized by the flames of war?
Because if I never end war, I have to settle for the next best thing, to hold its on and off switch in my hands. And that's why I started Black Steel.
But can you really control it?
I've tried plenty of times. I paid a dear price. But I did it in the end.
Was it worth it?
Even if all I can manage is to put on a pause for a few seconds. That's more than enough time for countless people like you to pick up their brushes again.
Then why can't you put what you're doing here on pause too? I'm sure a few seconds to breathe would be plenty for folks like me gasping for air. Sure, beats getting pathetically run over to or run off to the frontier.
Because Davistown is no battlefield. It's the battlefield of life. Don't you get it? I can't put it down because this is the only thing I have left that's less power. All these years, I've thought to myself as something like a blank white symbol. The wealth, the family, the influence it represents means nothing. They have no use in the face of the problems I want to solve. With this in my hand, at least I accomplished something. With this in my hand, at least I'm not a completely useless symbol. Nonsense. Captain? Jessica, it's been 5 years. In these 5 years, have you ever once thought about why I picked you as my assistant? This is Black Steel we're talking about. There are all kinds of amazing people here, but I still chose you. And not because of that gun you're holding, but because of your tears. Tears, but tears of weakness can't protect people behind me. Tears don't imply weakness. The work we do at PRS is dirty, tiresome, and dangerous. But no one does that kind of work just for the money. Only someone who's able to emphasize with the pain of others can throw herself into a cause for a group of strangers, or a place she barely knows. Captain, just when I thought I was completely useless, you brought me into your team. That was the first time in my life I ever felt appreciated, and I still remember that feeling. To repay your trust, I would willingly brave hell and high water. But you shouldn't. You shouldn't walk that path. No one's journey should be to earn someone else's recognition. Do whatever it is that you yourself really want to do, but do what truly makes you happy. You don't need anybody else's recognition except your own deep in your heart. Captain, I really want to cry right now. Then cry. Let your tears flow. No need to hold back. Woody, your halo is flashing.
You're goddamn right it is. I want to kill you. They keep saying that war never ends, that all you can do is control it. But you're wrong. War can be ended. Just not by you. War is ended by countless ordinary folks. Folks who've been encroached on by it, but like weeds tried their hardest to survive. Everywhere that's ever burned down in the flames of war has always been fixed up by untold numbers of normal folks, trying their best to get back the lives they used to live, even in the most dire circumstances. You should have died on the battlefield. Would have been a much better fate than becoming the war-obsessed madman that you are now. At first, I just wanted to return the bullet to you, but now I really want to kill you.
Oh, snap. A strong gale lifts up the old man's hat and tosses it into the air. But he neither looks up nor moves to grab it. His eyes, not blinking for even a moment, are fixed on the man standing opposite him. All his muscles from his cheek to his neck are as tense as can be. And above his head, his halo is flashing rapidly. The man opposite him keeps silent for a time, then gradually takes a deep breath, as though it is only through the sound of the roaring winds that he can understand the old man's words. Well then, do you know who it is you're going to kill? Your nemesis? Your friend who betrayed you, or a complete madman?
None of the above. It's an arrogant dick who looks down on everything. In his eyes, everything can be weighed on scales, and to achieve his goals, he's capable of sacrificing anything.
What about you then? What kind of man will shoot me with that bullet?
An ordinary man. An ordinary man who lost everything except his anger when you looked down on him.
Very good.
What's so funny?
That finger of yours always yearned to hold a brush, but in the end, you'll use it to pull the trigger. My hands yearn to hold scriptures, but in the end, they'll be drenched in blood. It's just funny how fate makes fools of us all. The wind lifts Cliff's coat, revealing both the firearm on his waist and the hand reaching for it. Through the flurry of snow, he sees Woodrow doing the same.
He suddenly remembers how, all those years ago in Laterano, on the way back to the dorm, a gust of wind blew Woodrow's hat away and carried it into the sky. And for a very long time, it stayed up there. Years have come and gone, and now that hat is in the wind, and it's finally landed back on the ground.
Can you see my tears? Well, what about them?
Them? Who? Jessica doesn't give him an answer. She merely looks back at the desolate mine. After the explosion, it looks all the more devastated.
Sir, do you know what that used to look like?
I don't.
Well, I do. I know there was a time when the energy tower burned endlessly to bring warmth to the residents here. I know there was a time when that diner never closed and everyone would gather around the tables holding over beer and sing to their heart's content. I know the winters here are long and cold, but with their dedication and hard work, every last person who lived here or filled this place with light and warmth. Their fiercest, brightest light enveloped every inch of this place to drive out the frigid coldness and the darkness of winter nights. They turned their bustling everyday life into burning red blood and injected it into this frozen plate frozen by the long winter, giving it life and vitality. They were people whose path was uncertain but insisted on walking it nonetheless. They were people who were cruelly tormented by life here, their necks bent under its weight. Even then they lived here amidst a snowstorm. They were people who shed tears, but no one ever noticed. My tears can't stand in for their sadness.
The girl raises her gun, and through its sights she sees an array of faces. The same look confused. Some look confused, some disapproving. Some stunned, some dazed, some are chuckling, some are lamenting. But their faces are not important. They quickly enter the girl's eyes and exit them just as fast, never stopping in her heart for a moment. Instead, a few other faces appear in her mind. The girl who prayed in the tent. The woman who scampered away in the snowfield. The old man who drew his gun in the dark night. The man who departed in flames. Who's the girl in the tent?
But my gun will cry for their sorrow.
She raises her arm high up toward the sky and fires all her bullets in one go. As the snow thrashes through the air, the empty casings fall to the ground, melting the snowdrifts away with their lingering heat. The gunshots reverberate in the air for a long time before silence returns her surroundings. The girl's ears catch a faint, feeble sound. It's the sound of tears smashing into the earth. Ugh. Ugh. You lose. Sorry, Woody. I chose war. I chose never-ending war. So my life is like a bullet. An explosion that can't be stopped, a siege and a defense with no end in sight. I can't end war, but you can end me.
Only when the last soldier fighting it falls can war finally end. Rupert. Now there's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Thanks, Woody, for still being willing to say that name. Aside from you, there's not a single person who remembers it. Goodbye. Cliff closes his eyes and waits for the bullet to tear his forehead apart. But before that, he hears a ringtone. He pulls out his communicator, takes a look and chuckles, then puts it back into his pocket. Who was it? The military. Don't worry about it. Go on. Is it Boulevard or Victoria? Nothing you need to worry about, Woody. Is it Columbia? Do it. Another war is about to start, isn't it? Where will it affect this time? A forewarning, perhaps. It's not set in stone. Give it to me. Woody, a lot of things I have on here are just trivial everyday matters to me, but to you, they'd be a whole new nightmare. Hand it over. If you insist, feast your eyes on them. Who will take this all over once you're dead? Someone. They shouldn't. There shouldn't be nobody else like you. He throws the communicator to the ground and shoots it full of holes. I can't kill you. This sin is yours to bear. Woody sets his gun down on the floor and raises his hands. Behind him, attracted by the sound of the gunfire, a crowd of mercenaries surges into the area with frantic footsteps and moves to surround him. In the sky, the last few snowflakes of the night are fluttering down. Okay, guys, take me away. I'm ready. The girl holsters her firearm and lifts her hands above her head. Put your hands behind your back. Handcuffs don't feel as cold as I thought they would. Because I've been keeping them warm this whole time. Thank you. Can I have a word with you before we go? I should thank you too, sir. Thank you for listening to all that. It's fine. Before you... There was another guy who jabbered away as just as much, if not more. I'm sure he'd be happy that you remembered what he said. Oh, you knew him too. He was a good kid. Hard to forget once you met him. Goodbye, Jessica. The mercenary taps the girl's shoulder, raising a cloud of dust as the sun rises, and turns around to leave. As Jessica gazes at the floating dust under the sunlight, she suddenly realizes that the night had already passed. Likewise, the snowstorm had subsided at some point. Oh gosh, Jessica's singing now. She spread my arms, spread her heart, showed me that pretty face. And from that moment on, I found my dreams in her embrace.
Medical team, please take tissue samples from the infected. We need to see the composition of the infection in this area.
Heart surge. Feel bad for Helena. She was like supposed to meet everyone, and I don't think anyone's coming. I do think it's interesting. So we saw a little bit about more involving Sancta falling. Like, he didn't shoot, you know, he didn't actually kill the guy or anything. I guess he didn't shoot him because he didn't fall, but he did win the fight. I'm not sure what happened, but his halo was flickering before all that. Like the killing intent, the murderous intent towards another Sancta already was triggering like, oh, he could fall, even though he hadn't actually done anything yet. So even just the thought of hurting another Sancta like prepares you for falling. I also was wondering and thinking, because I thought it would. I decided to look at the wiki just now to see if it was mentioned, but it's not even mentioned there, so where did I hear, like, see, I thought Sancta wore hats. I'm pretty sure they talked about this in Guide Ahead. Like, if a Sancta wears a hat, they get a headache or something. The wiki's not mentioning that. But they were wearing hats, and I was wondering if, like, well, maybe the headache... Exia said that, I think? Yeah, I think she said that. Unless she was joking. Unless that was a joke. And I took it as actual lore. But I was wondering if maybe the hats and the headache was actually caused because the hats, like, block their empathy from each other or something. And because, like, Cliff and Woodrow weren't, like, empathizing with each other. So I was like, maybe that's why they wear hats, so like it blocks it out. But now there's nothing saying that's actually true. So maybe Exia was just joking. Maybe she tricked me. Fair enough, if that's the case. Well, to see what happens in this last part, but I wonder if the, you know, when we recruit Jessica, she's like, oh, it's been a while. I wonder if that's not because she just wasn't working with us, but because she was in jail. That's why it's been a while. I wonder how jail life will treat Jessica. Don't worry, she's just an imposter. What do you mean? What does that mean? You know, now that I'm thinking about the hat thing, there are other Sancta that wear hats. Because like the guards wear helmets. I think actually that tricked me. I bet she put a hat on her hand. Maybe. All right. Band of outsiders. Choosing to die hardly counts as living. The war's over, Woody. You're free. You can go back to Laterano, that small house your parents left you, and plant roses on the front porch. Then you can find a chapel nearby and plant them on its ceiling, and paint them on its ceiling, so they can listen to the prayers of every visitor. That way, the sound will drift you into a peaceful night of slumber. I found your gun in the warehouse, but not his. Bring it back with you. What about you? Where are you headed? I'll stay here. In Colombia. But the war is over. Your war may be over, Woody, but mine has only just begun. Woody. Hey, Woody. Ugh. Are you alright? How long have I been out? 3 days. The kids got pretty tense when they saw me injured, so they went a little overboard, banged your head on the staircase when they shoved you into the ground, and you were out like a light. So he was injured. How did he not fall? He did injure him. Where's Jessica and the others? The other people. No. Cliff said, when they saw me injured. So, he did get injured by Woodrow. Don't worry, she's fine. And I've sent someone to escort Helena. My guess is she'll reach that casino unscathed in half a month. Then she'll launder all the money there before handing it to Sylvia, who's already waiting in the frontier. Sent someone to escort Helena. You aren't going to pursue them. I told you already. I only care about what's in the contract. The higher-ups asked me to tow the plate to the specified location and maintain order on the way. It doesn't say a thing about what happens off the plate, so I don't care either. It's good quibble there. Is that what that's called? Yeah, quibble. I may be an I may be a cold-blooded monster, but even I don't like feeding on the flesh and blood of others. So what are you gonna do with me? I have a mansion in Southern Colombia. Got a great big greenhouse. Wonderful place. You could change your name and enjoy your golden years there. I'll make all the arrangements. You ever lived there? Never. But that's not the real estate. That's what the real estate agent said. Thanks for the offer. But if there's one thing I know, it's you never trust a real estate agent. If you ain't turning me over to the courts, then I'm leaving. To find your friends? To find my family. Your gun's on my desk. The last convoy for the frontier is in half a month. You could... You... Go ahead and take the call. Would you like some tea, sir? Thank you so much for coming out all this way. Travel-stained lawyer. Oh, thanks, Miss Brindley. Your family paid a lot of money to hire me, so naturally I'm at your beck and call. Robbing a bank is a serious crime. It's going to be tough to win this, isn't it? Depends on what the outcome you're hoping for. If you don't mind prison, we can get you the shortest possible sentence in the most comfortable environment, and once you're released, your record will be clean. No one will even remember. We do this all the time. It's nothing difficult, so long as you can afford it. Okay, what else? Of course, not a lot of people enjoy the sights of a prison cell. We have an alternative plan for you. You could stay home under house arrest, or even go on vacation at some villa with a great view. Under supervision, of course. Well, would that be difficult for you? Yes, but not especially so. If you don't want to spend a day in prison, and would rather go back to a normal life right away, like nothing ever happened, that would be quite difficult, but not impossible. Ah, rich people. In Colombia, aren't most criminals sent to the frontier instead of prison? Don't worry, Miss Brindley. With us on the case, things won't be nearly that dire. No, I'm saying that's what I want. What? I should be out there. I broke the law, and that's the price I should pay. And you expect me to tell that to your father? Personally speaking, that's probably the most difficult thing you could ask me. No, the most difficult thing would be to try to stop me. Because that's outright impossible. Well, you're pretty determined. Well, that's right, I am. More than I'll ever be.
Not taking the call.
I never told anyone, but I hate phone calls. Loathe them.
I can tell. With that frown, you could hold a piece of paper between your eyebrows.
Is it that obvious?
Yeah.
But yes, every time my phone rings, I have to suppress the urge to draw my gun and shoot the damn thing. Same. But I never thought about it so many times. But every time I've managed to swallow it and answer.
It's just a phone.
Try spending 2 months with it on the battlefield. Changes everything. You're on call from sundown to sunup. When you pick it up and the voice says attack, you've got no choice but to obey and send your men charging to enemy lines. Then you fight from sunup to sundown. You bring back everyone who have left. But before you even have time to catch a breather, the phone rings again. The voice says, hold the line. and you have to send everyone back to the front lines to keep fighting a never-ending battle. Let's part ways here, Woody. If I lost my right to give an eulogy at your funeral years ago, then I hope you'll at least hear out my last request. I'm listening. Don't die in some place I've never even heard of. Fine. I have some parting words for you, too. Yeah? If you can't go back to how things were, you can at least hang up and call back later. Don't let them force you to keep your eye on it. I hope you'll always remember this phone call. He picks up the phone on the desk and punches a few numbers. Is this the president of the bank? I thought he was about to say, is this the president of Colombia? Hello, sir. Hello, sir. I was a little busy and couldn't answer your call. Right, we ran into some trouble during a towing. I understand your frustration. But to me, as long as the plate reaches its destination, the mission will be a success. Everything else is a sideshow. No one's gonna care. Right, I understand. The money is very important to you. I get that business has been on the rise, and the people from Tri-Mounts could help you climb ever higher. And now that the money's gone, my guess is they won't just let you off the hook. Of course, I also realize you aren't worried about them. You're worried about the higher-ups, who are even harder to deal with, and can truly decide your fate. Yes, I understand all of that. So what do you say I help you fill in the hole? It's no small sum, but nothing I can't afford. In return, perhaps you could help me with a small favor. I have a few documents that I'd like you to sign for me, under the table, as it were. Someone's knocking on your door? Perfect. Sounds like my mercs have arrived with the papers. Ha! You're afraid to sign. But think of our partnership. This is a win-win. I'll give you another call in half an hour. I hope you'll have made your decision by then. Talk to you later. I could offer you a small loan in this trying time. Come in. Sir, the money is ready. We're just waiting for the bank's decision. But I must say, taking over that platform in Boulevard took a whole lot less work than this one. Well, that's Boulevard. Boulevard doesn't have cutting-edge scientists, nor any tech companies jostling for control over all the abandoned plates they can get. Not to mention the favorable prices for plates and ownership transfer procedures they have there. They wouldn't mind getting on our good side after all. Alright, no more complaining about things not going to plan. If peace is a string, then the tighter it's stretched, the more the ones holding the ends will want a knife to cut it with. But as soon as it's cut, you either get rid of the knife immediately, or hold on to it forever. We've been stretched too thin, or too tight for too long, by someone much stronger than Boulevard. Who knows how many more Davestowns we'll have to handle. I'd rather get the big guy to loosen his grip, or even show him how much it hurts when the string snaps. But an old platform, why, they wouldn't think twice about. This might be even more useful than we thought. If we consider the immediate impact, the security on the surrounding areas could be greatly improved once we've established the training centers in Boulevard and Eastern Colombia. Of course. If we didn't care about that, then what separates us from the guys who only know how to grease palms? No, what separates us from the big guys? Well, that's all a problem for the future. It's the bank president again. I suppose it wasn't a difficult decision. Care to listen in? Why do we have to set sail now of all times? I want to see Jessica and Woodrow off.
Stop whining and pack your bags. Or clothes, even, which are in bags, I'm sure. You left them all over the floor. Tisk tisk. How come you two are so calm about this? Who knows if we'll ever see her again once she's out on the frontier? Mr. Cliff didn't approve her resignation, so even there, she'll still be a member of Black Steel. What? But she's going out there to serve her sentence. Yes, correct. But with her identity as a Black Steel employee and the job. The job? Right, no matter where you go, you can never escape this job. Maybe we'll get a mission in the frontier one day and we'll get to see her. Ah. Now hurry back and hurry and pack your clothes. I can't believe you two were keeping this from me. I thought I'd never... Don't blame us. Blame engineering for keeping you so busy that we never got a chance to talk. What's this? Something wrong? Oh no, I just found a note in my pocket. Big whoop, call me when you find a blank check. Half a month ago, Laura wore that coat while bidding her friend farewell with a hug. Okay, it's been a month, or half a month. She slipped a note into her friend's pocket, but didn't notice her friend doing the same. Laura turns away from the other two and opens it up. There are a few numbers and a sloppy scribbled message. If you ever need funding, give this number a call. Another one. Man, you've been at this pub all night. The owner is about to close up. Oh, that's all right. I know the owner. Are you waiting for someone? Nah, I never waited. I ain't never waited for no one in my whole life. Is someone waiting for you then? Yeah. Well, they get to meet you. I got a lot of people waiting for me. You'll have to narrow it down. Let's not worry about the distant ones. The closest waiting for you right now. Yeah, of course they will. I gave them my word. It's hard to find someone who takes promises so seriously these days. Here, let me treat you to a round. You tailed me this long just to buy me a drink? Believe it or not, I made a promise too. I promised the girl you're supposed to meet that she'll get to see you. You can call me Tila. In a swath of scorched earth, I see a spark light up and drift with the wind into the distance before perishing into ashes. Or perhaps it lit up the night sky and brought forth the daylight. You really plan on coming to the frontier with me? You know what it is you're throwing away? Yeah, I do. It's a stupid-ass choice. Maybe in a few years, or in a few months, or even a few days, I'll think of it the same. But I can only decide with the heart I have now. If I think it's worth a shot, there's no reason for me not to act. You think you'll find what you're after out there? Before, I always put all my effort into chasing things I could never reach. When I was a kid, I tried to chase my siblings who were taller than me. When I was a teenager, my grandfather died when I was out of the country, and I rushed to attend a funeral I could never have made it to in time. And then after I grew up, I chased disasters and conflicts and could never possibly stop again and again. I'm always chasing, but can never make it in time. But this is different. This time, I'm not chasing anything. Because I'll be there from the very beginning. Then let's get going. I hope you're ready for a fresh start.
Why the tears, Jessica?
My castle fell down. I spent all afternoon on it, but now there's nothing left.
Jessica, you built your castle on the beach. Of course it'll fall down when the waves come crashing.
I'm so dumb. Why didn't I build it somewhere safe?
What kind of nonsense is going through your silly little head? You're my granddaughter, how could you be dumb?
But my siblings are also much smarter. They know all the things I don't.
They're adults, of course they have more experience than you. When you grow up, you'll be just like them.
But won't they be even more amazing by then?
How come you have so many weird questions?
I'm sorry.
Now, don't be upset. How about I rebuild your sandcastle with you?
Will you really? Even if we do, it'd still come crashing down because of the waves tomorrow. In the end, there still won't be anything left.
Jessica, if you're so worried about the waves wrecking your castle, how about we pick a beach further from the water and rebuild it there? And even when you lose everything, there's always the future. We need to believe in it. Don't be afraid to start over.
Yeah, let's start over. Aww. A warm hat is placed on the girl's head. Its brim is so wide it covers almost her whole face.
If you want to cry, then cry. You've been through so much. Must be tough to bear.
I'm not.
Ain't nothing to be ashamed of, Jessica. Your lives always start in tears. It's the very first step towards breathing.
After a long silence, a sob can be heard from under the hat. The old man doesn't look down. Instead, he turns his gaze to the far end of the snow field. The sky beyond the horizon is dyed red by the dawn clouds, and its bright light reflects off the crystal clear snow. The vermilion hue stings his eyes with a sharp pain, and his tears begin to well up. No. What a good little event. So she went to the frontier. She's gone to the frontier. I don't know how long she's supposed to be there, but she's going to be there for some time, I guess. Which also further explains Cold Shot's onboard dialogue where she said, Jessica and my infected friends from the frontier. So yeah, Jessica's there in the frontier. Cold Shot, Woodrow's there. Miles is probably there. What happens to the money? Who knows? It's theirs to do with what they want. Cliff said she was gonna launder it at a casino, so I guess that's what they'll do. But that was a pretty cool little event. And let me see. There we go. I did not actually ever read the rest of the enemy peoples, I realized. An outlaw hired to sow chaos, equipped with thermal energy axes that consumes too much power. The energy supply isn't quite sufficient to start it up. A mercenary hired to sow chaos, equipped with a heavy protective suit. that is charged in advance to preempt any energy leakage issues. Due to their relatively high education level, part of their job description is to provide handwritten thermal energy amplifier reports to their employer. Mercenary equipped with a compressed air grenade launcher and is completely disregard any safety regulations. The gas cylinder is preheated to increase energy efficiency. When not blocked, deals damage, AoE damage, but when blocked, doesn't deal AoE damage. Oh, okay. Legendary mercenary and founder of Black Steel worldwide, war once destroyed him, then forged him anew. Outlaw hired to stow chaos, equipped with thermal energy blaster, and its output cranked up too high. However, as a result of this, they are able to charge the equipment of other gangsters. I think that's everyone. Yeah, I should get one. Oh, nope. Oh yeah, we only had a thief in one level. That's weird. A gangster hired to sow chaos, more interested in stealing property than injuring others. The thermal amplification devices they are equipped with are not actually been tested for safety. Only a single level had a thief. And the oh yeah, there was a drone. Weird. I guess we'll see them again in EX levels. Yeah, why did we not see them again? That's so strange. A chunk of ice carved into a globe, a perfect fit for the glass it sits in. To those interested in trying to homebrew, we suggest you take it on the rocks and water it down, or better than that, don't try it. Okay.
Have you been doing well lately, Doctor?
Alright, got that. So, we'll be back next week for the EX levels. What are these? Shoddy fuel, combustible salvage from Daviston and its environs. Practically worthless for the heat. It produces way too much smoke, but fuel is fuel, and there's an old worker by the energy tower who will trade goods in the mine for it. Plastic, paper, wood, even scrapped original circuitry. They're only commodities that they all burn when thrown into the power plant to provide the plate with just that much more energy. EX, yeah, EX. Can't forget about EX. Gonna open up this. Hold on. Maybe I should do this on the other window, actually. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that instead, actually. Hold on. There we go. I can't believe my which operators would rob a bank is actually relevant.
May you first rest.
And clearly I have to upgrade it or change it. Jessica here. Gonna have to send her up. to, why can't I draw on the outside of it? I don't know. Gonna have to take her up to, all the way to, would rob a bank. It's confirmed. Jessica would rob a bank. Who would have thought? Of all the people. Of all the characters who have canonically robbed a bank. Who would have thought it'd be Jessica? Amazing. Amazing. All right. And one thing I wanted to I was thinking about earlier as well is I liked the choice that the bank people never had names. Because it wasn't about the individual, right? It was about the system. They're just the enablers of the bureaucracy and how it preys upon people, right? It's not about the individual being the bad guy. I thought it was a good thematic choice to have the bank manager and president never have a name. It helps keep focus on what you're supposed to do. I think that was it. Oh, I assume the almond note, the Laura note. If you ever need funding, either that could be if you ever need funding, you can come to me. Or if you ever need funding, you can go to Rose Island. Since she is an operator, right? She does become an operator. Maybe that's her ticket in. She gave her a number. I wonder what the number was. It's either her own number, or it's a family number, or it's Rose Island. I don't know. Rhode Island does not have money to spare, but they still take everyone in. They still have a bunch of projects in engineering. It's one of those two. Okay. That's all. Thank you all for watching. And until we meet again, may the sands of time treat you well.